And all of our guests that come on, they're either people that have overcome some tremendous odds in their own lives as they balance this thing called life, or they're experts and they're here to share tips and strategies that will help you better balance and manage your life. Grab your virtual seats and let's get ready for some real, relevant, and relatable content on today's episode of The Kim Jacobs Show. Hello, everyone, and welcome to this episode of The Kim Jacobs Show. Yes, it's like a reunion for us over here, y'all. It's Freestyle Friday, right? So we are super excited to be here. Hello, ladies. How are you all? Listen, we are in for, when I say we, I feel like we because I take my notes too. So I have my little pen and my notepad, and we are in for a tremendous treat today here on Freestyle Friday as these experts will share different tips and strategies on how you can balance all different aspects of your life. Each of them have a different area of expertise. And so get your notepads, get your pens, use your phone devices, whatever you need to do to capture the information that they're going to share today. And also, because it's Freestyle Friday, if there are any topics that you'd like to talk about yourself, there's a lot happening around the world. Make sure you type it in the comments section and we will be sure to, between all of us, we should be able to address it, I believe, right? At least I share our thoughts on it. It may not be the perfect answer, but we're going to give you what we think. All right. So let me just take a moment and go through and acknowledge all of our experts here today and have them unmute themselves and just say in maybe like 30 seconds to a minute or less, tell everybody what they can expect to hear from you on today's episode. Let's start with you, Sunshine expert, Athena Robertson.
Oh, awesome. Great morning to everyone. And today, coming from me, you can expect to celebrating the reward of your accomplishments.
Celebrating the reward of your accomplishment.
Absolutely.
My grandma say, shooky dookie. All right. Natasha Halliday, tell us what we can expect from you.
Good morning, all. Happy Friday. Today, I'm going to touch base on workplace wellness. We spend a lot of our work or a lot of hours in our life at work, so we cannot neglect our mental well-being in that setting as well. It's part of our overall well-being.
Mind blown. All of you that are in the corporate world that's tuning in on LinkedIn, some of you are watching on LinkedIn. This is for you too. And then the Facebook and Instagram. Oh, I forgot to go live on Instagram. Let me make sure. They'll be like, Lord, see, she ain't never go live. There we go. We are live on Instagram now too. All right. So listen, for all of you that are in the workplace, you don't want to experience burnout. And I'm telling you, Natasha Halliday is going to have some great tips for you today. Sharon D. Brown, talk to us and tell us what you're going to tell us today.
Yeah. Everyone, my name is Sharon D. Brown, and I'm the founder of Self Care U Academy. And today, what I'm going to touch bases on is in building and maintaining resistance, because a lot of times we may not think about it as much, especially in the maintaining. So again, we are talking about maintaining that resistance that we have as ambitious women.
Okay, even though none of them know each other's topic, guess what? I can already tell it's synergistically coming together as it always does. Ernetta Caldwell, you don't know how honored we are to have you in the house. Typically, Ernetta has to send in a video, but she's always showing up no matter what. She'll send in a video clip to make sure she stays connected with our Freestyle Friday audience. But today, Ernetta Caldwell is in the house. Hey, Ernetta, talk to us.
Hey, thank you so much for having me, Miss Kim Jacobs. It's such a great honor and to be here with all you ladies. So I'm excited about today. I'm going to be talking about empowering your healing journey and to rediscover your true and best self. So if you know, I'm the founder of Beauty for Ashes Transformations, and I teach women how to heal and rediscover themselves after divorce or life's adversities. So yes, I'm excited about it.
Okay, y'all, you might as well go ahead and buckle your seatbelts, because between everything that's going to be shared here today, you can't leave the same way that you came into this broadcast. So in the virtual studio audience, you can type your questions, Ask any questions you have. Don't leave and you have free expert advice right here. That's a gift to you. And then you didn't take advantage of it. That makes no sense whatsoever. And then you go through the weekend and you're like, I should have asked one of them women about this. And then you could have had your answer and had a beautiful, relaxed weekend. All right. All right. So let's see who is in the studio audience and make sure you share your name. And it said, I see you say from Germany. Okay. Hello to you. We are a global broadcast here and glad to have you all the way from Germany. Meta, it said Juma Mubarak to you. Hello, and thank you for tuning in from Germany. And good morning to you, our sunshine expert. I see you commenting. Make sure you all tag your friends. And I see other people that have tuned in as well. Sometimes people don't type their names, but I do see you all. Sometimes I don't acknowledge it. I don't want to be just saying your name if you didn't type a comment. So I just want to say, if you want us to acknowledge you, go ahead and type your name in there. Let us know where you're visiting in from. Listen, we're going to go ahead and kick this episode off. I don't want to be like all at once. Who wants to go first? So it's like anybody biting at the bit to go first. Anybody want to raise their hand? You okay? Come on, sunshine expert. Let me pull you over here and get you going. We have Athena Robertson. And I'm not doing a bio or anything, but what I do want to let you know is that Athena is one of the most sincere individuals. She's always out helping everyone and finding ways to serve and to help other people and their organizations become better. So she's not just about herself only. She's always out thinking about other people. And I just want to say thank you, Athena, because I always see you out and about doing for everyone else. Thank you. Thank you. Sunshine expert, take it away.
Oh, thank you so much. It's always a blessing and an honor to be on here with all these Freestyle Friday experts and all the beautiful faces and smiles. I do believe I met Miss Sharon before, and if not, it's a pleasure to meet you again this morning, Miss Sharon, and to all my other sisters, Arnetta, Carrie Ann, and Natasha, and Kim. It's good to see your beautiful smiles on this Freestyle Friday. You guys know that anytime I come by, I got a little piece of wisdom and knowledge that I just want to give everybody just to keep as you continue to move through your season, your journey of this year of 2024. Hopefully, the year has started out quite grand for you, and it still is going grand for you. And so I've always talked about celebrating. And in my moment of meditation, I said, well, celebrating, and we're still celebrating. You got to celebrate the small victories as well as the big victories, right?
Yes.
So I said, okay, well, let's celebrate. Let's talk about celebrating the reward of your accomplishments and what that looked like, for you and celebrating you. And again, it could be small to big or big to small.
Yeah.
And so in my meditation and thinking, I was what kept pondering on my mind was decision making and the character building of your decision making, your thought process, making the right choice, and one great analogy that stood out to me as I was coming up with the words to put together and to put this message together. And first and foremost, I just want to honor and say I thank God for the Holy Spirit. I'm truly, truly grateful for the moments that He blesses me with words and wisdom to share with you all. Again, it's not about Athena in no shape, form, or fashion. Because sometimes he be blowing my mind all the time. And I'd be like, oh, that's what you meant, Lord. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna take out my words. I'm gonna use your words because they're gonna flow so eloquently and so genuinely and smoothly and also in a humbling way. So I'm truly, truly grateful to and I just wanted to tell y'all that how I am grateful, because sometimes if you don't know what to say, God will always give you the right words to say. And so in my message this morning, just to give you some scriptures background, Proverbs 2 and 6, the Lord gives you wisdom, coming from Proverbs 2 and 6. And then another good one that I like is Proverbs 3, 5 through 6. Lean not into your own heart, but trust not your own heart, lean not to your own understanding. But we're acknowledging the Lord in all the ways, and He will direct our paths. And so many times we think we got it, and that don't be the case. But thank God for the Holy Spirit and for the guidance. And so in making the right choice, what's your thought process? And your thought process is the help giving you the wisdom and the knowledge that you need to make the right decision, to make the right choice. Because again, all of this is leading up to the reward and the accomplishments. And your reward, you're celebrating the reward and your accomplishments. So it could be for a child, it'd be, hey, you took out the trash
That's
a whole week. Parents didn't have to say nothing to you. So at the end, what's the reward? Whether it's you earn a weekly allowance, or they want to hang out with their friends, or they they're seeking financial reward. Oh, it might be like a new video game, or it might be some new shoes for the ladies. So that is the reward, and celebrating that is the hard work was, hey, you took out the trash. Nobody had to say nothing to you, so you're deserving of this. So now I'm happy at the end of the week, right? Because either I'm getting something that I want, something that I need, something that I would like. And sometimes the reward is something that we need or something that we want. And you can celebrate either way. Either way, the victory, you haven't won the race if you get to the reward at the end. So helping, which is giving you the knowledge and assisting you with the knowledge that you need and making the right decision, making the right choice of your thought process. Guidance is directing your next step, what to do next, going in the right direction so you can accomplish and be elevated to the next level. And then the prosperous for the victory, meaning that the reward in the end, the victory in the end, you get to celebrate that reward because of your accomplishment. And so to share that with you, the simple analogy that I had came up with was, you know how you teach a child how to ride the bike. First, the parent got to make sure it has the bicycle, the helmet, and then of course the parents love, correction, and guidance for the child. And start out when the child starts riding a bike, you have the training wheels. The child is on the training wheels, the parent is guiding the child, whether they're on the sidewalk, whether they're on an empty, clear street, or if they're at the park, whatever the setting may be, the guidance and the instruction is there. Then as the parent is teaching the child how to ride the bike and the child is going with the training wheels, pretty soon after that, once that stage is mastery, now we go to the next stage. The next stage is taking the training wheels off. Okay, you done it. I believe in you. I believe you got it. We're gonna take these training wheels off and we're gonna watch you go. And the parent allowed the child to go. And what happens is, as the child is learning to go, the bicycle riding that is, soon it might be a mistake or error in there where if the child falls and has to get picked back up, the comfort and the support. And so the parent is there to comfort the child, get up, shake it off, try again. It is okay. You're not bruised too badly. This is a part of the learning process. Because again, the thought process, the decision making, the child has a choice. Am I going to try it again, or am I going to wait a little bit and then try it again? But the main subjective of is to try again and to move forward. And so once the child has conquered that, as the child grows, we go from the training wheels, the little bicycle, and then as the child get bigger, the next bicycle. I say that because that's how God deals with us. I wanted to bring it back full circle. When we are working through different things, different journeys, goals, visions, dreams, business, and to all my business owners on the line, to get to the next step, we take baby steps until we conquer it. And then here come the next step. And along the way, we are being supported. We are being guided until we get to the end of the finish line. The reward is that, hey, I've accomplished this goal, or the business is up and running in full effect. And now you're watching your business grow. You're sowing into your business. Everybody else is sowing into your business. You're making great connections. You're networking. You're building partnerships, building relationships. And so in that, celebrate when you get to the accomplishment and the reward. Because guess what? It's greater after that. It just doesn't stop there. So that reward is one thing. When you get to the next level, the reward is going to be another thing. So you want to continue to celebrate you. Sometimes we're in a hustle and bustle and we'll accomplish one thing and we'll think, oh, it stops there. And that's not true, because you got some more of the process to build and to grow. And so it's going to be another reward in that. So celebrating the reward of your accomplishments is very important in this season, because you're planting, you're sowing, you're watering, and then a harvest time come. And then when the harvest time come, that's your celebration time.
right.
Celebration time to celebrate, and then even, you've guys heard me on here time after time say, give yourself grace and mercy, patience, and learn as you grow, continue to learn as you grow. So that's what I wanted to share with you guys this morning, was celebrating the rewards and the accomplishment that you gain from each level of success that you have. And guess what? If you ain't started yet, get started. Start somewhere. And first, you can start by getting a piece of pen and paper, writing it all down so you can see it clearly and move forward from there. So yeah, that's what I bring to you on the Freestyle Friday Expert. Yeah, thank you for allowing me to go first, y'all. That thing was on my heart, and I can tell you, when Kim asks me to come on Freestyle Friday, I always say, sis, what's the topic going to be? And she'll come back and say, well, what do you want to say? How do you want it to flow? And then when you get on here and I listen to all my other sisters, and I'm like, oh, I'm connecting to somebody. I heard Miss Sharon, I heard Arnetta, Carrie. I'm connecting to somebody. So I'm just always truly grateful. And just, again, I'm just grateful, give honor to glory to God, that he gives me the wisdom needed to speak. Because again, when I first started out with this message, my words may line up with nothing I just said.
That's funny. So this is a beautiful thing, that if we can just celebrate our accomplishments and take heed to the advice that our sunshine experts share with us, life can just be a lot better for us. Anybody on the panel have any comments or anything that you want to say pertaining to what our sunshine experts do? Anybody? All right. Okay. So what we're going to do is, I see you, Lynn, out there. You said amen. And I also see comments that's been coming in from the studio audience. And just, I want to make sure that before I just go plowing forward, that everybody get a chance to say some things if you have some things in your heart. And then sometimes when we wait to the end, it's like, I had something to say, but I didn't get to say it. But as we celebrate our accomplishments, how do you, each of you, just like in less than 30 seconds or something, how do you celebrate your accomplishments? Anybody want to chime in? And you don't have to, but just say something about how you personally celebrate your accomplishments. Anything you do?
I sometimes
for me, one thing I'll say is I'm glad that she did talk about that. And I would say, even though I celebrate them, but also not enough. And so that's really, really, really important. So I'm really glad that she did talk about that, because it's not celebrated enough. And then we were able to do that. It's almost kind of like, it's like our spirit, we're giving ourselves permission and we're acknowledging ourselves. So again, I really do appreciate the message.
Thank you.
Good. And how can people stay connected with you, Athena?
For short terms, if you just Google Athena Robertson, I'll pop up, I promise you. But you can find me on Facebook as Athena Robertson. I'm on Instagram as Red Honey, that's REDHONII, the number 7. I'm on LinkedIn as Athena Robertson. So, and I'm right here in the Mecklenburg area, right in the downtown area. If you need any kind of assistance with college educational wise, I'm here. I got you. And I'm a notary here in the Mecklenburg County area. So call me and I'll meet you where you are.
All right, everybody. Listen, we're going to go with Sharon D. Brown next. And we'd like to have you talk about what you're here to share today. Now, Sharon D. Brown, everybody, I love the fact that she has merged being an entrepreneur and being a self-care expert. She's merged those, she's married them together. So that way you get the opportunity to know exactly what you can do to cover both ends of the spectrum and merge them in a synergistic way. So, Sharon, I want you to take it away and let everybody know what you have to share. And if you all see me pop off, it's because I'm handling a couple of things here too, but just take it away. Okay, go ahead.
All right. So again, thank you for all of that, Kim. And my name is Sharon D. Brown, and I'm the founder of Self Care U Academy. And pretty much with the Academy, it's pretty much to remind, especially entrepreneurs and leaders, about to value self-care and to prioritize it. And then also to look at self-care more so in a holistic way, not just the indulgence of self-care, like the manicures, the massages, the chocolate cake, and ice cream. All of those things are important and are needed, but it's And it's almost kind of like the stuff that has to be done before you get to your destination. And so in saying that is that just by living, but also as being an entrepreneur, there is a lot of stuff that just may not go right. We may not be where we want to be. And as it was talked about in celebrating our wins, we know that it's an uphill battle sometime. And so in saying that, it's building that resistance, and I'm going to say maintaining, because one thing that I come to realize, because I even had to think about it myself, is that especially if you are a ambitious person, you're going after something, you have an ideal, sometimes when someone says building, you're like, that doesn't apply to me. We talk about it. I'm strong, I have this, but that's not how life works. And so even though you are, but to be honest, one thing that I've come to realize and that I come to realize personally, like within myself, and then also I'm a therapist as well, so I see it in the clients, is that, we don't see ourselves as weak. We don't see ourselves as strong. And so because of that, meaning that we do kind of neglect ourselves. It's unintentional, meaning that we're not true. Most of us are not truly challenging ourselves. Because I used to be the queen. It's like, oh yeah, I'm using discernment. I'm avoiding that drama. Oh yeah, And of course, you pick your challenges, but the thing is, the way that the mind, the body, the spirit, and the soul works, it really works when you are challenging yourself. So before I get into a couple ways of how you can do that, I just went off my thing. I wanted to kind of give a definition of what resilience is. And according to Google says that resilience is the ability to adapt to or recover from challenging life experiences, and especially through mental, emotional, and behavior flexibility. And so I really want to focus on the adapt. And then when it says challenging life experiences, I want you to change challenging to stress, because you think about stress, that's every day. You have the normal stress, the stress that can break you down to your knees and all of that. And so in saying that, it's kind of like, what are the things that you're doing to kind of help resist the urges and the things that come along with being stressful? And we've all like experienced the stressful things that came with the pandemic. But if you think about that, there's nothing that no one could have done to prepare for that. But it also, if you really paid attention, it also showed areas where you can improve, because it's one of those things. It's like, oh yeah, I was taking life a little bit too easy to a certain extent. And like for those of us who experience a breakup or a divorce, of course you can't completely prepare for those things because there's unexpected. However, if we're not preparing ourselves like for disappointment or for rejection of anything, and especially as being a business person, because like how many times we pitch something and it's like, oh, I didn't get that, or we didn't finish a project. And so again, it's about building yourself up to that. And one way of thinking about it, if you remember the movie The Karate Kid, and Miyagi had Daniel do the what is it, the wax on, the wax off. And so there's a method to that. And how many of you truly do wax on and wax off within your life? Meaning of doing things that may not even seem like they're attached to each other. And why has she got me doing this thing? I don't even know. Like sometimes one of the things that I may have some of my clients do, I may have them write their I am statement like for 5 days, 55 times, and you're like, well, what's the purpose of doing all that? That's so that it can become a part of you, so that it can become attached. So it's kind of like doing something that just seems like it's not attached, or it could be very challenging, but it's helped building you up, you know? And so a lot of times in our life, we're not building ourselves up to be resilient, because sometimes some people think that because an experience has passed, that they say, oh, I'm resilient because it's past. But there's a lot of trauma or damage that can be attached to that, because we're still not working completely through that. And so some of the ways that you can do that is, again, by challenging yourself. And so how do you challenge yourself? Challenge yourself can be going to network events. It's like, I'll say depends on the type of networking events, because some of them I love them and some of them are like, oh, it's too much noise. So for the ones that's too much noise, that's challenging for me. And so it's like, what are the things that I can do so that I can be at ease? Yes, part of it is just going it, but it's really the steps that need to be done, or the practices that need to be done before you get there. And a lot of times we're not doing that. So how do you prepare yourself, or say to yourself, or do this, like when it comes to disappointment? Let's say if it's an organization you really want to be a part of, and you've done everything that you wanted to do, but you didn't get it. And it's like, how do you prepare yourself for the disappointments of life? And of course, we want to be careful of the words that you use, because we know how words can manifest things. So definitely be careful of that. But the thing is to be able to more so have a sense of how you're going to show up, the greatest person that there can be. So that's what you're doing. You're building those muscles, and it takes, I guess you could say, it pretty much takes a lot of efforts and a lot of hard work. And even in being in an environment of like getting, down and dirty, it's like, oh, I don't like this. And that's what it's about, is pretty much is being able, to build emotional strength. I know, like with myself, when I hear something like challenging and hard, I was like, oh no, that ain't for me. You know what I'm saying? But now I'm like, oh yeah, I need to go into these environments so I can build that, because you don't want to be allergic to challenges. And so one of the ways that you can do that, I do have a weekly group on Saturdays at 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Yes, it's on Saturday, and yes, it's on 7 a.m. You know why? Because stress is always there. Life is always life in. But when you take the time to be able to pretty much build yourself up, that is something that can be very, very helpful. And if you think about the word fortitude in and of itself, it's pretty much to have strength in the midst of adversity and challenges. And the only way that we can do that is to build ourselves up and be in environments that help us to do that as well.
Listen, y'all, you have gotten some great information. And if you want to stay connected and be a part of this Saturday morning, early morning session, make sure that you all reach out by looking at this link and tell them how they can stay connected with you, how they can actually join in on your training.
Yeah. The best way to stay connected with me is pretty much Instagram. So on Instagram, I'm listed as I am Sharon D. Brown. And again, that is I am Sharon D. Brown.
Excellent. And then if you want to be a part of the class, the link, I've put it in the comment section for you all. And it's actually a self-care academy, selfcareu.com/fortitude-spirit-rituals-membership, because there are some audio listeners that don't get to see the screen. So again, that's selfcareu.com/fortitude-spirit-rituals-membership. Whoa, y'all, you said a mouthful, Sharon D. Brown. A lot for us to digest. That's the right word. And so anybody that has any comments or anything that was a takeaway for you that you'll start implementing, please feel free to share. Don't be allergic to your challenge. That's a great takeaway. Sunshine expert. Yeah, that's real good. Anybody else have any comment or thoughts on anything that was shared? There was so much. There was a lot of times in your life you have to be resilient. So we can't give up on being willing to go the extra mile for some of the things that we are going to experience in life, and just put on our big girl stuff and say, okay, we here, we ready. Even if we have to, like some people I know, I won't say names, but they like, I don't care if I got my wig on, turn it sideways. I'll leave it at that. It's an inside joke for y'all that don't know. And see, sometimes when people laugh directly out loud, you know, like, I won't say any names. Okay, we having a good time. All right, so listen, here on Freestyle Friday, we have our experts. Sharon D. Brown just talked to you about being a self-carepreneur, and she has a great program that teaches you how to deep dive into merging self-care and entrepreneurship so that it's wealth, self-care, a whole holistic approach to everything that she does. So thank you so much, Sharon D. Brown. Let's go to you, Carrie Ann Hilliard. How are you today?
I'm well. How's everyone doing today?
Doing great, but I can't let you speak without saying something about you right quick, too.
Oh my goodness. It's so much I can say about me.
No,
But go
I'm
ahead.
going to say something about you for a minute. What I want to say is that Carrie Ann is such a giver. I think that kind of sums up who you are in a nutshell, not just financially, but spiritually, emotionally, in a very collaboratively. I'm making up some, I don't even know some of these are words, but okay, but just collaboratively, you're always pushing other people out into the forefront, and you're like, what can I do to undergird what you're doing? And in my opinion, especially with eWomen Network, it's a big deal to have a give first, share always perspective. And that embodies who you are. You always give first. You always share always. And then whatever the remnants are, I guess, comes back into your world, which has to be plentiful, but based on the amount of seed that you sow. Because if God is watering, when God is watering that seed, your harvest should be very plentiful because you're a blessing. Okay, go.
I don't know how to even go after that. Like, what do you say? There are no words to say, but thank you. Thank you for viewing me that way. I try to give as much as I can, thank you. Thank you. Okay, so I was sitting over here just taking it all in. I feel like I'm in the audience. I'm actually, supposed to give something. And that's what I've been learning is to pause on everything that you're doing in life. Sometimes you have to just slow down and you have to pause. I had to have about 2 difficult conversations this week and let the people know that I've been giving my heart to. Like, it's time for me to slow down and pause so I can get replenished to be able to give more to others. And that's what it's all about when you're going through life. Athena talked about our decisions, making those decisions, directions, guidance. And then she took us to Proverbs where we can find that decisions, those guidance, and the direction to celebrate ourselves. And then Sharon, she just came through with letting us know that we got to challenge ourselves and be resilient. Like, wow, how cool is that? She said, you got to challenge yourself. And I think about like how almost every day, God gives us a test that we get to go through. How are you going to pass that test? What are you going to do? When you're in school, you have a test, you study for that test, you prepare for that test. To prepare for the test of life, you got to go through things. And that's what she was basically saying. How are you going to build yourself up so you can go through it? And it reminded me of one of the courses that we teach at Help Adolescents Speak Out. So for those who don't know me, I haven't been on here in a while. I'm Carrie Ann Hilliard. I am the chief visionary and founder of Help Adolescents Speak Out. What we do is create a safe space for young people. We bring them together and we teach them how to overcome their challenges. We do this online. We do this in churches, community centers, wherever we're needed. We come to you and we start with you, end with you. That's why it's on there. That's what we do. And because God has called me to be the help, because he called me to do so, I do a lot of different things in a lot of different spaces to make sure that others stay lifted up so they can go out there and do whatever God called them to do. So, with that being said, you guys, I'm just so glad that I'm in this season of being pulled back. You know what happens when you're pulled back, right? You're going to go forward even faster. So I'm grateful to be in this season because on next weekend, we're going to be having a retreat. And this retreat is going to be amazing. Arnetta's going to be there. Another lady, Joanne Brown, she is a licensed counselor. She's going to be there. And then it's a whole lot of other, it's for parents. And you know, a lot of times we have to learn how to rest on the Lord. Before you get out there and you make things happen for someone else, you got to rest within yourself. You got to retreat. Retreat means to pull yourself back. It means to come on back when they out there doing war. You know, sometimes they have to retreat back so that way they can get the rest they need. They can get filled up. They can get everything that is necessary. So that way they can go out and move forward and do whatever thus saith the Lord. All right. So that is just the little bit of information that I want to share with you guys on today. Thank you for having me on here. I haven't been on here for a while because I've been teaching some middle schoolers coding, and I'm so grateful to do so. So thank you for having me on today.
Wow. Okay, this woman is so modest. Okay, I know. That's what her focus was today, is what she shared with you. So let me put that up, and I'll put the actual information so you all can. Let me see. Yeah. So you can officially see that this retreat is specifically for parents, so you can relax, restore, regenerate yourself. This is going to be next weekend. Now, again, if you're watching this and it's outside of the month of July, then that means you're watching a replay, because I do get people that'll be like, how did I miss the conference? When is it? Is it July? Okay, I get it. But here's the deal. It is July 26th, starting at 5 p.m. in Charlotte, North Carolina area. So if you are in the vicinity, you definitely want to sign up. If you're a parent, it's going to be a boat ride. It's going to be some fun stuff taking place. You will be rejuvenated. And it's a private location, so you definitely will need to reach out to Carrie Ann directly if you'd like to learn more and be a part of this Help Adolescents Speak Out parent retreat. You are going to be in for a treat yourself, okay? And how you stay connected with Carrie Ann, let them know how they can do that, Carrie Ann.
Absolutely. You can just call 704-343-6679, or you can go to my website, Help Adolescents Speak Out, and you can reach me there. Send me an email, join our, our email list. You can go on the website. It'll pop up to say, hey, join my email list. I'm starting to do better with sending out emails. I'm on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, everything under Help Adolescents Speak Out, or my personal name, Carrie Ann Hilliard. It'll get you to me. So,
and Carrie Ann is 2 R's, everybody. So CarriAnne, Hilliard. And that way, if you're listening on audio devices, you'll know that's how you can spell her name to find her. All right. Anybody have any comments or questions? Because she's also the author of several books. One is about adulting, when you're raising adult children and how that works. And she's also the author of helping parents that are overcoming obstacles, single parent obstacles. She also authors a book pertaining to that. So you don't want to miss connecting with Carrie Ann Hilliard. She has a lot of solutions for your life. Anybody have any comments or questions? That was one of my comments.
I definitely want to say to your audience out there, definitely come to Carrie Ann's retreat, because like she said, sometimes you need to pull yourself back and get connected, get around other like-minded women as yourself that need to uplift and recharge each other. So definitely sign up. Don't miss out on that opportunity.
Good. All right. So we are moving right along in today's episode of the Freestyle Friday episode. And already you've heard from some dynamic women entrepreneurs that are doing a fantastic job of just sharing their spirit and their soul and their gifts and their talents with you. So we are going to hear from Arnetta Caldwell next. But before we hear from you, Arnetta, we are going to take a moment just to take a commercial break. We'll be right back right after this break, everyone. And then we're going to get to hear from our two that's going to carry up the rear end. All right, we'll be right back, everybody. Hi, I'm Kim Jacobs, the Managing Director of the Charlotte, North Carolina chapter of eWomen Network. I am so excited that you stopped to watch this video. I've got good news for you. You've just discovered an international network of women entrepreneurs who are committed to helping you achieve, succeed, and prosper. We're on a mission here to help 1 million women entrepreneurs each achieve $1 million in annual revenue. Here at eWomen Network, we have a complete success system that supports you every step of the way in building and growing your business. You being here right now is no accident. We're supposed to know about you. We want to meet you to find out how we can help you as well as learn about what you have to offer. With over 500,000 women connected through 118 chapters across the United States, Canada, Australia, and the United Kingdom, you are never alone. If this is resonating with you, please go to ewomennetwork.com/Charlotte. Notice too my contact information. All right, everyone. I want to make sure that you know that you can go to eWomen Network. Hi, I'm Kim Jacobs, the Managing Director of the Charlotte, North Carolina chapter of eWomen Network. I am so excited that you stopped to watch this video. I've got doing stuff. Okay, don't worry about it, Mackenzie. I got it, sweetie. Thank you so much, and I appreciate you because I know you're like, whoa. She's a mom of 2 young children under the age of 3 years old. So she's like, what commercial? Wait. What didn't happen here? Okay, so I know you're on it and you do a fantastic job and I appreciate you. But then sometimes I go ahead of her. So she probably like, oh gosh, Kim is just doing the most. Let me do my job here. All right, that's what called teamwork. At least we're not letting the ball drop on each other. So thank you, Mackenzie. Okay. So Arnetta is up next and so glad to have you here today. And Arnetta, let me just say something about this one. Okay. As cute as she is, she turned up 1,000 notches, y'all, for her I Am Healed Women's Conference. Oh my goodness. I'm telling you, Arnetta, I already thought the world of you, right? But at the end of the day, when I came to your, let me put it back in this view for a second. When I came to your I Am Healed Women's Conference, I did not, you know, you don't know what you're going to necessarily experience until you experience it. What I experienced there was just, it was life-changing. The women coming and pouring our souls out and feeling in a very safe space to be able to do so. It was heartwarming, it was uplifting, it was edifying, it was restoring, it was fun, it was, like sassy. It's like, hey, we get ready to do the tea and had our little hats. So you couldn't tell us nothing. We had a healing, cleansing time. So thank you for letting God use you to do the I Am Healed Women's Conference. Next year, everybody, if you didn't get to come this year, you need to be in the house. Arnetta Caldwell will help you be able to recover from divorce or heartbreak. And now it's her turn to talk. Let's go.
Oh, I want to say thank you. Thank you for being a part of the panelists at the I Am Healed Women's Conference, as well as many of you, Carrie Ann, Sharon, as well as the Sunshine Expert, Athena, you were there as well. So thank you all for coming and for supporting the vision that God has given me. So I wanted to keep the momentum up to talk about healing. I feel like it is so important for us to really be in tune with our healing journeys. Sometimes we don't talk about it enough. And so what I want to talk about, the topic was empowering your healing journey to rediscover your best self. So I just have a few points today, and I took some notes that I want to share with you today. So the first point today is all about embracing your self-awareness. I believe that that's so important, to be in tune with yourself, being in tune with how you're feeling. Maybe it's your emotions, being in tune with with your strengths, your weaknesses, as well as your triggers. There's a lot of things that can trigger you on your healing journey. Maybe you feel like I was healed from that and something triggered you and then you took a few steps back. That's okay. The most important thing is to give yourself grace on your healing journey. But an exercise that I like to teach my clients and is to, number one, write down in a journal, be honest with your day, all about the reflection. What worked today? What didn't work? What triggered you? What are you feeling in this moment? Sometimes we try to run from our feelings, that we don't try to sit in the feelings to understand what is God really trying to teach you through this. And I feel like that is so important, to learn the lessons, gain the blessings, but the key is to keep moving as well. The second point I want to talk about is building resilience to overcoming any adversity. So a little background story about myself was that I have faced many different adversities. That's why I feel as though I'm here to give back, to pour out what God has allowed me to go through. Sometimes we don't understand why we go through certain things in our lives. But it's all for the purpose to help someone else. I had experienced a lot of different childhood adversities, such as childhood molestation, foster care, teen pregnancy at the age of 14, and would later on in life experience going through a devastation of a divorce. And at that time, I wanted to give up on life, but the key was God. He never gave up on me. And overcoming that resilience in that time was all about my mindset. What was I telling myself? Sometimes we can listen to the circumstance. The circumstance may say, oh, you're going through this divorce. You're not enough. Look at you. You're not worthy. But what are you telling yourself? It's about gaining that resilient mindset. So to the audience today, I would love to share with you my free prayer affirmation cards, because I feel like it's important to affirm yourself in a positive way in what you're speaking over yourself, as well as the power of prayer. That is what really helped to get me through. And to my last point, I would like to talk about creating a vision board. That is so important. So going through my divorce, one day my little girl, she was 7, she said, Mommy, let's create a vision board. I looked at her like, little girl, I don't want to do arts and crafts. I'm hurting. I'm broken. But the key was, I realized now that God was only using her to help give me hope again and to look at a bright future despite of the circumstance of where I currently was. And sometimes we focus on what we see around us, but God is saying, no, I have so much for you. It's about you creating that vision to see where he wants to take you. God says in Habakkuk 2:2, write the vision, make it plain. So that is something that really helped to move me forward, to get me on my healing journey to where I'm at today. And the key about that is keep going. Sunshine expert Athena said, try again, keep going, keep getting up. The journey may not be easy, but the journey is worth it because you are worth it. You have to believe in yourself, even when others don't believe in you. You have to celebrate yourself, even when other people are not celebrating you. So if you say, I want to create a vision board, maybe you've never created one yourself. Because of my little girl's faith, I'm now the creator, what is called the prayer vision box. And it's all about pray it, believe it, and see it. And it's about you being intentional to create and form a vision board to frame your futures and to release the shackles of your past. I really want you to move forward. I want you to live out your best life despite of the adversities that you have faced. And I want you to heal and I want you to grow. So that's where I'm at today. So definitely stay connected with me. You can stay connected with me on all social media platforms at Ernetta Caldwell, as well as next year, like Miss Kim Jacobs said, get ready for the I Am Healed conference. It's coming back. You all asked for it. And I feel like I want you to heal and live out your best life and to see the transformation in your life.
Oh, dang. If I had a mic, I'd be like, just drop the mic. Because there's some good stuff that's happening on here. Ernetta Caldwell, ErnettaCaldwell.com. Y'all, you want to stay connected with her. If you are feeling broken in any way, I promise you're going to feel more restored and like you can just take on a little bit more of life's challenges, okay? ErnettaCaldwell.com. Let me put this up as well. You will be able to get your prayer affirmation cards. It's a gift. She's giving you this as a gift. So you don't have to go on and think that you're going to have to pay for it. I am confident I'm enough. It's a whole group of prayer affirmation cards just so you can be encouraged on your journey. So thank you so much, Ernetta Caldwell. Let me put that link directly to the prayer cards, and it is right on her website, and it's under the product page, but the link is in the comments section. But if you're listening, it's ernettacaldwell.com, and then go to the product page. The prayer affirmation gifts are there for you to receive. So anybody have any questions, comments? Anybody, feel free. And I do see comments in the studio audience as well. Let me put this one up of Vicki, girl, our expert of many hats, Vicki L. Evans, because she wears so many hats, she wasn't able to be on today, but I'm telling you, she has some upcoming performances and things in the community that you want to be a part of, so make sure you follow VickiLEvans.com. She said, believe in yourself and celebrate you even when others don't or won't. That's key. Sometimes they can, but they won't, and it's okay, because you can celebrate you. Encourage yourself, like David said. Okay. All right, let's get ready to go to our next and final Freestyle Friday expert. Let me talk about this beautiful jewel. First of all, she's a comedian, even though she looks very serious, right? She's also just a fun person. So behind the scenes, we get a chance to get to know her from just a relaxed, fun perspective. But then she's also very serious about her knowledge and understanding before she imparts that wisdom to someone else. She takes time to make sure that it's accurate, and she deep dives in making sure of what she's talking about. And to me, I think that's honorable, and I'm excited whenever I get the opportunity to be in the presence of someone that is not just going to tell me any old thing because they think that's what they think that's what it means. That's not what it means. Natasha is going to tell you because she knows what it means. So I'm so honored to have you. You're beautiful. You're pleasant. You're fun. You're funny. Funny, for real, for real. And she's Canadian too. So we welcome her here on our side of the world. All right, take care. Take it away, Natasha. Unmute yourself.
Here I'm yabbering away and I was on mute. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, ladies, again. So good because I haven't been here in a while. I was teaching on Friday mornings, so I'm really excited to be back to do this. Love doing this. Love connecting with y'all. So today I wanted to talk about workplace well-being, workplace mental health, because we spend, for those of us who have 9-to-5 jobs or in-person type jobs, we spend a lot of time there. And most people I speak to feel that they can't meet the demand of work, which adds stress. And life doesn't stop and go, well, since you have such a high demand at work, I'm not going to bring any other stress. We still have life stress. And so this is one of the reasons people end up experiencing burnout. So I love to talk to people about how do we create an environment in our workplace that helps bolster our mental well-being. And so there's lots of things to do. One, prioritizing our mental health and actually thinking about it. So paying attention to, for you as an individual, what affects your mental health in your workplace. Because if you're not specific, it's like shooting, but you're not hitting something, right? You want to aim specifically at what's affecting you, whether that's a workload, whether it's your colleagues, whether it's your boss. What in that environment do you feel is having an effect, so you can develop strategies specific to that? Knowing yourself. So a lot of people coming out of the pandemic realize I work better from home, or I work better in the workplace, or I work better with hybrid. Are you able to petition for something that fits your needs without taking away from the needs of the workplace? So can you work home 2 days a week if that means that the days you have to go right after work to take your child to an activity, you don't have to add the traffic time? And that makes life a little bit less stressful. Is that possible to get those options? Don't be afraid to ask. If the answer is no, the answer is no. But some people aren't even thinking to check in with their workplaces to see if these are options. Check if it's an option. I used to work at a mental health hospital here in Ontario. And one of the things that I got involved in was all the challenges they created. One, because I'm super competitive. But what I loved about it was I started driving into work, not just going, oh, and I have this to do and I have 7 meetings today. It was, okay, and I get to do this challenge. And the challenge added movement. They added ways that we were having fun. The challenges helped me get to know people who weren't in my department. And so if you work in an environment where one, you're able to implement one yourself, or they have something like that, get involved. Do something so that your work environment is not just solely work. Take your breaks. I can't say that enough. I don't know how many times I've been guilty of, I don't have the time to take a break, and I'm sitting there at my desk trying to eat my lunch while I'm trying to do work. But I've never, and then I stay late an hour. I've never felt that I got further along. I always feel like there's still too much to do. So if you know your pile is never going to get to a clean desk at the end of your day by working through your lunch, by staying an hour later, accept that there will be things that are left over and take your breaks. Ernetta talked about rest. Like, this is one of the ways we rest. And if you think about it, rest starts with RE. I think, who said retreat too? Somebody else said retreat. Any word that starts with RE, the re is about adding back something that we already had. So when we're retreating, it's because we need to get back to a certain state. When we're resting, it's because we're trying to get back to a certain state. So examining, what state am I losing that I need to get back to? And how can I use my breaks to be a part of that? How can I have a time where I'm stepping aside from work? So thinking about how to do that. One thing I used to do, I worked in one hospital, and it wasn't always easy to take a break in the break room, because if I was the only one in the break room and the nursing station was empty, I was answering the phone, I was answering the door, because I was the only one hearing it. So I learned I need to walk away from the unit, and trying to find a quiet space, because I worked in hospital at the time, wasn't always easy. So I would go to the chapel. And I would spend time in the chapel, which was great because I could also connect with God, but I also found a really quiet space that allowed me to decompress in the way that I needed, which then I felt refreshed when I went back, because I really felt separated enough to get a little bit of a break and then go back into my environment. Engage in professional development. One of the reasons people start to feel burnt out at work is when imposter syndrome kicks in, as systems change, as theories change, whatever your work is. If you are not feeling in tandem with the industry changes, you often feel inadequate, or you feel like you're not doing enough, or you're not capable, and it starts to eat away at our confidence. So if you have an opportunity to go on a one-day training, to do a webinar, whatever that is that continues to enhance your skill set in your area, in your field, engage in that professional development. It will do wonders for how you feel about the work that you do. Keeping in mind, again, what are the things that help you stay mentally well? So are you having healthy snacks when you're at work? Are you eating healthy? Are you doing things that are in general good for your own physical well-being and mental well-being? And the last thing that I want to leave with, because there's so many things that I could go on with, but I always talk to people when I talk about well-being in the workplace is paying attention to what kind of water cooler conversations you have. And what I mean by that is, it's easy to get caught up in the over here whispering going, oh, I can't believe this, and da, 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 da. And I always say, I'm a venter. I like to get things off my chest. But I started to realize everything we speak out of our own mouths, we also hear. So if I'm speaking the negativity of the environment amongst other people who are doing it, that means I'm ingesting all that negativity, right? Our ears, our eyes are portals for ingestion. So do I want to give myself mental indigestion because I'm taking in all that negativity? Absolutely not. So while it's okay to vent and say, oh, that wasn't that great, pay attention to how much time you sit in those conversations, because you don't necessarily realize how they're eroding your mental well-being and having a negative impact on you. So really be cognizant of how to stay intentional about not sitting in toxic spaces that way. So I'm going to wrap up there, because I could go on forever, because I love to talk about this stuff, but I'm trying to be cognizant of the time. But I hope that's been helpful.
That's been very helpful. Very, very helpful. Anybody have any comment or anything that you want to say? I saw some comments from Athena saying your lunch break is important, so enjoy your lunch break. Anna Brothers, thank you so much. She's also a talk show host. She said, I'm going back to watch the replay. Good morning. Good morning. And Mother Julia Harper, she's in her 80s, and she actually is on social media. heart plant recipient. Over 20 years, she's had this heart beating in her chest. And Mother Julia Harper said, great show again. Thank you so much. Vicki L. Evans, our expert of many hats, says, hey, I miss you all. Hope we can reconnect on Freestyle Friday soon. Thank you so much, Vicki. We welcome you every time, of course. And there were some other comments, but lots. Okay. Marcin said, realization of your purpose is indeed empowering. To add and parallel, discovering your pace within shall strengthen your vibration as well. And these are comments that's just come throughout the whole show, not just on one specific person. Yes, we must rest and take time for ourselves. And I think this is probably when you all were talking earlier, Sharon, and different. Okay, so lots of comments just have been flooding in, and we appreciate your active participation. That was wonderful tips that each of you shared. Do you have a closing comment that each of you want to share? Feel free to grab that in your mind right quick, and then we're going to get ready to close out. I do want to let you all know a few things. On Monday, we have Malaysia Harrell will be on, and she's going to be talking about how she came from a near-death experience to new life. This woman has had a miraculous change happen in her life. Then on Tuesday, we have Candid Conversations with Ken Canyon about relationships is part 2. If you already checked out part 1, you know you're in for another treat with Ken Canyon. So make sure you tune in for that. This week, I was honored with a No Women Award in the Carolinas area. So I just wanted to let you know that I was really honored to be selected for this. It was interview panel and all of these different things. But there are some phenomenal women throughout the state of North Carolina, and I was distinguished guest to be honored at that event. So I just wanted to take a moment and say I'm really grateful to No Women Organization in KNOW Women in the Carolinas. So thank you so much for that special recognition. All right, closing comment. Sharon D. Brown, give us a closing comment.
Yeah, I just want to say just to remember to build yourself up with resilience, to build that resilience muscle, just like you would build, your athlete muscle. We need to build that resilient muscles as well.
Excellent. Natasha, you know what? Tell us a closing comment, but I didn't put your contact information, how people can stay connected with you too. Say that too.
Yes. So on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Natasha A. Halliday. My website's natashahalliday.com. And I'm going to quote a meme I posted on Facebook years ago that said, take a break before you break. It's about choosing it. So
Okay. Carrie Ann Hilliard, give us a closing comment, please.
When life becomes overwhelming, don't forget to retreat back and rest so you can move forward.
Oh, I love y'all's closing comments. Okay, give us a closing comment, Arnetta Caldwell.
Yes, I just want to say thank you again for having me, but I want to speak to that woman out there. Maybe you're saying, I am broken, I want to give up. The key is don't focus on your current situation. Look forward to your future, to where God wants to bring you. Keep moving forward. That's the key.
And listen, one of the closes I'll say, everybody, is make sure you all support the Kim Jacobs Show. This is the only way that we can keep our program thriving Monday through Fridays at 11 o'clock a.m. And I say this, but I really do want to say that people are contributing to the broadcast, and I don't take that for granted. This is your opportunity to partner with us as we're bringing balance to the world, one household at a time. I'm a big believer that we can overcome the circumstances that have either been given to us by choice, or by force. So whatever circumstances we're in, do not limit and determine the outcome of our destiny. We can get to the other side of this thing called life. So make sure you pour into the program. And these are ways to do it. Cash App, $ Kim Jacobs Inc. is the main way that a lot of people do it. Or you can join our memberships, motherdreamer.com/join, or our patreon.com, which is behind the scenes content that you never see anywhere else. Patreon.com/The Kim Jacobs Show. Thank you all so much for tuning in to today's episode. Thank you, Mackenzie, backstage. I know you were having a few technical things, and I really appreciate your heart. And thank you to all of you in the virtual studio audience. Athena, thank you. And I know if you had a closing comment, it would be something about bringing joy to the rest of the world. So that's from Athena Robertson. All right, everybody, have a great rest of your weekend. We will see you again right here on the Kim Jacobs Show, Monday through Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Have a great day, everybody. Mackenzie, we can close out. Thank you for tuning in to today's episode of the Kim Jacobs Show and for being in the virtual studio audience. Your presence truly does make a difference, and I look forward to you bringing your friends and family to join you in the virtual studio audience Monday through Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I look forward to seeing you and make it a great day.